My parents forbade me from sharing this story, but they're gone now. My brothers and sisters, all claimed by time. It's only me, and before time also claims my long life. I must bring to light this ongoing atrocity silently wasting so many untold lives. Is it an atrocity? I'll leave that for you to decide. Replicators and transporters. Did you ever get the impression that Starfleet was lying to us about them? It all seems so reassuringly sterile and logical what happens when they copy, then disintegrate a perfectly fine original human body, and then relocate us somewhere else. They emphasize language that misleads the mind, but it's all smoke and mirrors to convince us that we've been moved instead of replaced. Well, I'm one of a growing few who knows the truth. Every person who has ever been through a transporter is a replicant. No, not that kind of replicant. I mean the kind of replicant that comes out of a replicator in 10 forward, with hot rice, gravy, a straw, and a cold drink. We are destroyed, stored, then recreated. Transporters are just replicators without presets. If you don't believe in souls or spirits, no harm, no foul. But some might feel they should have a choice when they finally die. And how many times they really die. It shouldn't matter that it's temporary. Some unscrupulous slave driver shouldn't be able to find loopholes that allow him to go to a transporter log and bring a whole crew's worth of workers back. People who never knew they even died, like some kind of temp life form. Maybe they are still alive and working in a dozen starships without even knowing. I share this information on repeat with everyone now, on 50 cloaked and dispersed old-fashioned AM radio transmitters. This repeating beacon of information will radiate omnidirectionally and be light years across before reaching Starfleet bases and trillions of ears. You can always chase the signal at warp speed to hear it. As these overlapping bubbles of information grow in size, here and in the beta quadrant, it can't possibly be fully jammed or policed without millions of ships and beacons. I leave you now with my father's personal logs, recording repeated revelations as his eyes slowly opened. There are 570 logs here, 570 days of his life. Hopefully, these were the final ones written by him. I pray to God there aren't some being written right now, though if they were, I would give anything to see him again.
Personal log of Lieutenant Lance Carter, USS Carnegie, stardate 54372.7. Well, back to the grind. Third shift for some reason. Did I lose some unofficial clout during that long vacation the captain insisted I earned? Well, I'm well rested now and I'm going to be promoted to chief engineer in a few months. I'll make my own shifts then. So many new crew members. I don't recognize a single face. The ship seems to have gotten major retrofits while I was gone. It's almost eerie. Only a few familiar faces. There must have been a major dust-up, but everyone seems tight-lipped. I can't shake the feeling that something critical is being hidden just beyond my reach. It's nice to have some quiet with this beauty of a ship after that long vacation on Riser. I was starting to go stir-crazy. Everything else seems done to my standards, as if I had already worked second shift as usual, but I have the freedom to seriously optimize some systems. I'm running diagnostics on the port nacelle power conduits. I can get 3% more efficiency. Lieutenant Lance Carter, personal log, stardate 54373.2. Well, back to the grind. Third shift for some reason. I saw Lieutenant Mira Torres today. She popped into the Jeffries tube as if she wanted to say something. I froze and probably stammered or said something stupid. She's amazing. She looks more mature now after only 3 weeks. She stared right through me like she wanted to eat me right up. What's wrong with me? She would never look twice at a grunt like me. I'm thinking of asking her out when our shifts align. She almost said something, and then she was gone with a smile, almost like she was sad, and I could have sworn she was wearing a ring on her left hand that looked like my mother's, probably just a trick of the low light. Lieutenant Lance Carter, personal log, stardate 54378.9. Well, back to the grind. Third shift, for some reason. Did I lose some clout during that long vacation? I was going stir crazy on Riser. I keep finding things that don't make sense. An old coffee mug with my name on it, but I don't remember ever using it. Old upgrades on new equipment that some engineer with my initials signed off on. Very odd, impossible star dates. I decided to check the ship's logs for this sector. They're incomplete. Big gaps in the records, and my access is blocked to most everything not job-related. Personal log of Lieutenant Lance Carter, star date 54380.1. Well, back to the grind, and who is the first person I see? Lieutenant Torres, almost as if she were waiting for me. There on her hand was something that looked like my ring, with a large sapphire mounted. I didn't say anything when the shift started. At lunch, I confronted Lieutenant Torres. I had to know about the ring. It was just like my mother's, but she just smiled and surprisingly forced herself to kiss me. Our first kiss. The next thing I knew, we were swept up in a moment neither of us could deny. It felt like she'd known me forever, like she had unlocked every secret of my soul. She took me like I was hers. She has utterly transformed my world. She left me in a stupor. I felt as if I had just been born. How am I supposed to focus on work now? It felt like we had been lovers for a lifetime. She knew exactly what to do and say. Still, afterward, I asked her about the ring. She was half asleep, but she told me.
Oh, the ring? You gave it to me one day while you were sleepwalking. You know your 5-year seduction plan? You told me all about it that night. You were so adorable. I just led you back to your room. I kept the ring, though. Glad you finally noticed.
She was, of course, lying. The answer didn't sit well with me, but I will never forget this night. Personal log of Lieutenant Lance Carter, star date 54380.4. Well, back to the grind. Third shift for some reason. I can't wait to bump into Lieutenant Torres, but she's second shift.
Hi, Lance.
Still, I saw Torres tonight.
I've been looking all over for you.
Like she was waiting for me. What an angel. She smiled as if we had shared a secret.
I've got something I want to show you.
She asked me to come close, giggled, and she kissed my cheek. Our first kiss. I suppose I need to accelerate my 5-year secret seduction plan. Clearly, I've been moving far too slowly, slower than she was.
You want to hear a secret?
I noticed Commander Jenkins gave me a strange look and subtly steered her away. One day, I know I'll see my mother's ring on her hand. Personal log Lieutenant Lance Carter, stardate 54382.4. Well, I thought I would get back to the grind.
Hi, Lance. I've got something I want to show you.
But Lieutenant Torres is taking up all my time, like she's addicted to me. Nothing wrong with that. Things are moving so fast. After my first break, she made me blow off my entire shift. The captain is going to kill me. I just racked up 3 weeks of vacation time. I need to work. How could this shift end with us making love in the holodeck? It was mind-blowing. How can she know me so completely? How did she have so many credits? It's as if she possesses a map of my soul. I'll be utterly devoted to her before this is over. I have work waiting, but here I am, writing in my log while watching her sleep. She must have missed me terribly while I was on vacation. I left her a love note, but then noticed something. Grey hairs. But she was 5 years younger than me. I ran a quick medical diagnostic. She was older, 12 years older. Since I seem locked out of everything today, I accessed her personnel file on her pad. She has 3 children, and they all look like me or my siblings. Then I found the photo of her husband. It was me. Older chief engineer. Me! In her logs, she misses me since our divorce. Personal log, Lieutenant Lance Carter, star, date 5438.2.6. I have work to do, but I'm lying here next to her in bliss, writing my logs and watching her sleep. I guess she really missed me while I was on vacation. I left her a love note but then noticed grey hairs. But she was 5 years younger than me. I ran a medical diagnostic. Then I ran it again and again. She was older than me, 12 years older. And she's not a lieutenant, she's first officer. I checked her history on her pad since mine was locked out of everything. She had 3 children, and they all looked like me or my siblings. Then I found the photo of her husband. I read my own logs, some of which I'm sure I haven't written. I have her pad. She has command-level access to the general system. The logs from before, I saw the entries, the same ones I'm making now but with similar dates. I've missed 15 years. I saw the fear, the confusion. I saw myself, my selves, slowly realizing the truth. I went to Captain Valerius. I demanded answers. I showed him the log discrepancies. He didn't deny it. He said I was part of a special program, that I was the best of the best, replicated while we were on a war footing for maximum efficiency. He pointed out that for months after that vacation on Riser, my stats were stellar. I was in good spirits, and it was then that the transporter logs were stored. When the war came, I was an officer, and I had apparently agreed to it. He showed me my old self, authorizing my use and reuse for diminished extra credits in his account. The war is long over now, but having an extra shift of crew members all in high spirits, believing they were back fresh from vacation and ready to work, it was just too much to let go. We were better than androids. I told the captain that replicators can't replicate people. He just smirked and asked me,
"What rule of the universe actually states that? Before you found out you were being replicated, your universe was perfect. This was the year that you married your wife. Most people would die to relive this part of their lives. I love Mira, just like you do. She's my oldest friend, and I can't watch her die inside again when we beam you back into nothingness tonight. This has gotten out of hand. This will be the final time that I decommission you."
The look on his face was so sad, like he was ready to end his career. Personal log of Lieutenant Lance Carter, supplemental. Mira and I are on a shuttle to a colony in the Beta Quadrant with our children, whose names I continue to get wrong. But after all, I've only just met them. I love Mira with every fiber of my being, and I will never become the man she divorced, who she or her children would feel fine leaving behind. I thank her for thinking enough of me to give me a second chance to get it right. For me, I left vacation yesterday. Today, Mira has given up everything for a second chance with me. Thank you, Captain, for not decommissioning me.